Good Wednesday morning. Yes, today is a first alert weather day, specifically for the Kittitas Valley, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we could have peak wind gusts between 55 to 60 miles per hour. Saw a peak wind gust yesterday of 62 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. So we're going to have more of that on tap for today. Right now, winds already being impactful in the Kittitas Valley. Winds gusting between 35 to 40 miles per hour. Also, we have this belt of winds gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 30 miles per hour for places like Hermiston, Pendleton, Adena, Walla Walla, Lexington, and Heppner. Okay, on to temperatures now. 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the mountains. Now, of course, the winds are going to make it feel a little bit cooler than that. Also, we are seeing some visibility concerns up in the Cascades and also for the Blues. So just something to keep in mind if you're going over those mountain passes. Here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. A mostly dry day, even seeing a decent amount of sunshine at times. Highs are going to be about 5-ish degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. But of course, the bottom line for the forecast for today, very windy in the Kittitas Valley. Then showers and thunderstorms becoming likely again this weekend. High temperatures staying mostly normal for this year. For this time of the year, if not a little bit below average. But I'll touch on all these points, especially point number 1 coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a controlled burn meant to prevent wildfires nearly sparked one instead. We're going to let you know what caused the controlled burn to get out of control. Plus, a high-speed chase on I-90 ends with 2 kids safely recovered, 2 adults in custody. We'll let you know what led the Washington State Patrol to spring into action. And Rite Aid is closing over 1,000 stores nationwide, including a key location right here in the Tri-Cities. We're going to break down what this means for local customers and what's next for the region's only 24-hour pharmacy as the company faces bankruptcy. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott. Jessica has the morning off. It is Wednesday, May 14th, and we start out of Benton City this morning, where the Department of Transportation was conducting a controlled burn in preparation for this year's upcoming fire season. Suddenly, though, things got out of control. Benton County Fire District 2 and 4, along with the city of Richland, all arriving on scene. This is near Benton City on Highway 225. This happened about 9 o'clock yesterday morning. The winds caused that controlled burn to get out of control. Fire crews were able to contain that blaze to less than about an acre. They had it out in about 30 minutes in control. Benton County Fire Chief, though, saying it's a reminder to always be aware.
We just want to remind everybody that even though it looks green, it just rained. It's going to rain in our fuels, in our cheatgrass and sagebrush here. It can still take off. There's a lot of dead stuff underneath that's ready to burn and ready to go. So please be careful when you're burning.
So thankfully, no one was hurt in this fire. Benton County Fire Chief for District 2 saying if you're looking to lend a hand this upcoming fire season, they are currently looking for volunteers to join the team. And over in Richland, just after 3 yesterday afternoon, 6 fire crews responded to a vegetation fire off of Mount Adams. According to locals in the area, no homes were damaged and no injuries were reported, but so far no word on what caused that fire. According to a neighbor, it was a legal burn day in the city. Crews were on standby through the night to mop up any hot spots and make sure nothing reignited. And continuing our fire news out of Kittitas Valley now, the fire and rescue responding to a structure fire Monday night after multiple reports of visible flames. It all happened around 8 o'clock at the Brookside Manor Apartments in Ellensburg. The fire district saying that the building was evacuated. No injuries were reported. The cause of that fire, though, still under investigation this morning. 5:04 now, moving into a scary situation out of Oregon, where just after 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, Washington State Patrol responded to the information from the Oregon State Patrol tracking the location of a stolen vehicle connected to an Amber Alert. So it all happened around 2:21. Washington State Patrol located a blue Mazda CX-5. You see it right there on your screen. They found it near a rest area approximately 9 miles east of George. Well, the driver sped back onto I-90, leading Washington State Patrol on a chase. WSP performing a pit maneuver to stop that car. Grant County Sheriff's deputy assisting in getting that driver, 29-year-old Adan Osman Abdi, and the passengers, 26-year-old Trevania Shoulders, into custody. Now, a 2- and 3-year-old were associated with this Amber Alert, and they were found inside that vehicle. They were safe. They've now been placed into protective custody.
deputies knew that they were chasing a vehicle that had children in it. It was not an opportune time, but we couldn't get spike strips ahead of the vehicles because we were trying to catch up to them. We didn't have anyone on the other side. The choice to use the pit maneuver when the road conditions, the speed conditions were just right, perfect. We wouldn't have done it on the freeway at any high speed like that.
Abdi was charged with second-degree taking a motor vehicle without permission and felony eluding. Shoulders has pending charges out of Oregon and was charged with a court order violation as well. Taking you to Yakima now at 5:05, 26-year-old Leland James Vierjo of Toppenish has pleaded guilty to the U.S. District Court for Eastern Washington to assault and firearm charges for shooting at federal officers. It all happened back on February 10th of 2024. Toppenish police responding to reports that two vehicles were chasing one another. According to the reports, the vehicle's occupants were firing gunshots at each other. When officers responded and stopped one of the vehicles, Vierjo and a passenger got out and ran from the scene armed with a pistol. He then fled into a nearby home and a standoff happened around that home. The man fired 5 shots in total at law enforcement. 2 Yakima County Sheriff's Office vehicles were hit. Luckily, no one was hurt. He was eventually taken into custody after he surrendered. Now he will be sentenced on August 11th. 5:06 now, and the future of a once bustling piece of downtown Kennewick remains up in the air. A foreclosure auction for the historic Farmers Exchange was suddenly postponed. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen says the postponement levels of community members with more questions than answers.
No sale, no explanation, just another pause for a property packed with potential.
The Farmers Exchange buildings is a campus of 3 really significant buildings to our community's history.
The Exchange, closed since 2004, sits on a nearly full city block in Kennewick's central business district. Quirky, industrial, and brimming with charm, it's the kind of place people want to see brought back to life.
The feed store has been around for over 100 years. It's been recently added to the National and State Registry of Historic Places, so I hope that informs the next person who buys it.
Here at the Benton County Justice Center, the historic Farmers Exchange site was expected to go to the highest bidder. But now all eyes are pointed at May 23rd at 10 a.m. when that auction is rescheduled. Stephanie Button has been on a mission to find just the right buyer. Reaching out even to Portland's McMenamins, the company known for transforming historic spaces into destination venues.
Our outreach included working with a local broker and real estate agent to host showings. We had a brokers open in the kind of early spring, late winter of this year.
A retail hub, a hospitality gem, maybe even an industrial art studio. The possibilities are layered as the history within its walls. But for now, the Farmers Exchange sits in limbo, waiting for a new owner, a new purpose, and a new lease on life. Reporting in Kennewick, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
5:08 in your local business news this morning. Rite Aid is closing or selling off more than 1,200 stores across 15 states, and that includes right here in the Tri-Cities. The company filed for bankruptcy earlier this month, and a judge has approved a bidding process for its assets. The Tri-Cities' only 24-hour pharmacy located in Kennewick off of Highway 395 could be impacted. The deadline for bids was Tuesday, with an auction set for this morning. And according to new information on Google Business, the grand opening for the Central and Southeast Washington's first ever Chick-fil-A has been set. The app says it will open on June 19th. So take a look. We drove by the area where construction continues, but in just the last week, so much more has been completed. The restaurant is being built in the parking lot of the Canal Crossing Shopping Center in Kennewick, right near Hobby Lobby. Estimated cost of the building, over $1.1 million. I know my kids are excited. At 5:09 now, according to Forbes, one of the best places to retire might be closer than you think. After comparing 950 locations across the U.S., Pasco made the list of the top 25 cities for retirees for the first time in 15 years. Housing costs, state taxes, air quality, serious crime, and primary care doctor availability all played a factor. The list features cities from 19 states in evenly cold and warm climates. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. President Trump continues his trip across the Middle East today. Coming up, we'll have the details on his trip so far and what changes he's implemented since traveling. And giving you that live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. Coming up, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have your first alert forecast after the break. It's 10 minutes after 5.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
We have a very special bond, I think, as a family. Spectrum is the connecting thread to everything we do.
It provides us with reliability, lightning speeds, and allows us to do what we need to do in our lives.
From school to homework to entertainment, Spectrum's the perfect match for me and my family.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
Ford dealer.
Hi there, I'm Stacy Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday between 11 and 2 and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
The Inland Northwest is a vibrant community, rich in tradition and pride. And Culligan has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries, like nitrates, bacteria, and PFAS. Culligan, water you love since 1936.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Tonight, who will be the new pope? As cardinals cast secret votes inside the Sistine Chapel, David Muir is there as the world waits. The papal conclave begins. World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is a first alert weather day because of the winds that we'll have specifically in Kittitas County. Of course, we'll talk about that a lot more a little bit later in the show. But for right now, I did want to talk about temperatures 37 to 50 right now in Kittitas County. That's the range of temperatures. 50 for Ellensburg, 37 up towards Snoqualmie Pass. In the Yakima Valley, they're spanning from 44 to 53. 44 for Sunnyside, 53 in Yakima. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, we're mostly around 50 degrees. 52 for the Tri-Cities, 50 for Benton City. Then for the Blue Foothills, 40s for the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, 40s and 50s for the Blue Foothills of Walla Walla and Umatilla counties, and 30s and 40s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. So just too warm for any of us to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. But with those wind gusts, we're already seeing some of those air temperatures could feel a little bit cooler than what they would otherwise suggest. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket weather for this morning, but into the afternoon it should be t-shirt weather. So we'll have high temperatures getting up into the upper 60s to low 70s. So for today, these highs are still going to be about 5-ish degrees cooler than normal for the middle of May. That means mid 60s in the Kittitas Valley, upper 60s in the Blue Foothills, and low 70s in the Yakima Valley and in the lower Columbia Basin. If you look past the winds, today should be a fairly nice day. Mostly sunny skies in the lower Columbia Basin. Kittitas Valley should be partly cloudy in the Yakima Valley and other portions of the lower Columbia Basin. But as we head into this weekend, our weather turns more active in terms of the rain and thunderstorm chances. I'll tell you about that. And of course, I'll touch on the wind gusts once again. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. Taking you around the world now this morning as we are checking in on the travels of President Trump as he makes his way through the Middle East. Just yesterday, he met with the Saudi Crown Prince, gave the president, of course, the royal treatment. And 3 Trump announcements were made in regards to ending sanctions. Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
Today, President Trump heads to his second of 3 Gulf states, arriving in Qatar this morning and leaving Saudi Arabia, where he heaped praise on Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the man U.S. intelligence concluded orchestrated the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Trump instead focusing on the region's economic prosperity and announcing at the Crown Prince's request he will lift U.S. sanctions on Syria.
Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince.
The sanctions were put in place during the Assad regime that has since crumbled, its new government now in power for the past 6 months.
There's a humanitarian reason to want the sanctions to be lifted, which is that the people of Syria have suffered under the sanctions. The United States should be cautious too, because you don't want to go whole hog in and invest in any particular regime.
Trump meeting with Syria's new president today before heading to his next stop. Hanging over the president's entire Middle East visit, questions about the Trump family's business interests. Sons Don Jr. and Eric Trump now run the Trump Organization and have projects in the works in all 3 countries the president is visiting this week. His visit to Qatar also under scrutiny after its royal family offered that $400 million luxury jet, which Trump wants to use as Air Force One. His plan received swift backlash from Democrats and some Republicans, but Trump is still defending it.
We give a lot of gifts. We give too many gifts, to be honest with you. But I thought it was a beautiful gesture.
So all of this comes as the president is bashing Boeing for their delays in production for the new Air Force One. Trump asserted Qatar heard about these delays and then offered to help. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Skycam at Richlands Columbia Point. Beautiful start to our Wednesday. Will it last, and what can we expect as we make our way through the rest of the week? Josh will let us know in your First Alert forecast after the break. It's 5:17.
Welcome to Pasco, where we are building a community rooted in culture. Check out the Farmers Market downtown at Peanuts Park, Saturdays from May through October. Taste something new at one of our diverse local restaurants, the Pasco Specialty Kitchen vendor windows, or our growing food truck scene. And enjoy the natural beauty of our waterfront parks and the Sacagawea Heritage Trail. Shop small, explore local, and experience the spirit of Pasco. Naturally transformative.
What makes NUU unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients. They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to NUUWomen'sClinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
Got a family reunion in the works? Make it unforgettable at Beaver Valley Lodge. With cozy rooms, beautiful mountain views, and plenty of space to gather, it's the perfect place to reconnect and make new memories. Book direct with us and get 10% off. That means more savings for barbecues, bonfires, and all those late-night laughs. So skip the middleman and book direct today, because great reunions start with the perfect place to stay. Beaver Valley Lodge. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.
It's not easy being Mariano Morales' horse. He needs to ride to clients all the time. He does take care of them. He gets the insurance company to pay for medical bills, car repairs, even money for pain and suffering. Looks like it's going to be another busy day. Better get warmed up. After all, I am his best friend.
Hurt in a car wreck? Give me a call.
Big or small, we work them all.
I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day because of some of those peak wind gusts we could have in the Kittitas Valley from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some of those peak gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. But look elsewhere on the map. The Yakima Valley peak gust around 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour in the lower Columbia Basin. That would include the Tri-Cities, 55 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. That would include Lexington and Heppner. And then for the Blue Foothills of Umatilla and Walla Walla County, so that would include Walla Walla and Pendleton, peak gust up around 45 miles per hour. Other than that, today should be a pretty nice day. Again, if you look past the wind gusts, will be mostly sunny to partly cloudy for lower elevations and mostly cloudy to partly cloudy for the higher terrain of the Blue Foothills, the Blue Mountains, and up into the Cascades. We'll have about 10 to 30% chances of showers today up in the mountains. And high temperatures going to be about 5 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. That means 60s and 70s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s up in the mountains. For tonight, mostly clear skies for the basin and valleys. It's going to be partly cloudy for the foothills and will be partly to mostly cloudy still up in the mountains. Could hold on to a shower or two up in the Cascades. Overnight low is going to be down in the 40s for lower elevations. Could have some mid to upper 30s in the lower valley and then 20s and 30s up in the mountains. Now for tomorrow, we could have some more widespread shower and even some thunderstorm chances. This is 4 p.m. for tomorrow. This is when we're going to start to see some of those showers up in the Cascades, spreading off towards the east after that. 8 p.m., getting into the valleys, getting into the basin. This is going to be a slow mover. And all this stuff should end up being pretty light. However, as we head into Saturday, there's another storm system we're tracking, widespread showers and thunderstorms. Some of that could linger into Sunday. Looks like we trend drier overall into the beginning of next week. High temperatures, despite all that, staying pretty steady, if not warming up just a hair at the beginning of next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry through Friday, but showers and thunderstorms are now looking likely for Saturday. In Yakima, showers certainly possible for Saturday, then some of those strong northwesterly gusts could spill into the valley by Sunday. In Ellensburg, the potential for damaging wind gusts again today, then turning very windy again Sunday through Tuesday. In Hermiston, very windy today, then calmer winds after that, but showers and storms are looking likely for Saturday. Then for Walla Walla, a few showers possible on Friday, but the main event will be on Saturday with showers and thunderstorms likely.
Josh, thanks so much. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Testimony is underway as federal prosecutors begin trying to prove that Sean Diddy Combs turned his hip-hop conglomerate into a racketeering enterprise that forced women to satisfy his sexual desires. Coming up, we'll break down what has happened in the courtroom so far and what is expected. It's 5:23. We're back after the break.
The old me was stuck in the daily grind. My routine didn't allow for any self-expression. I found clay, and that changed everything. I realized my calling was to give others the space to be creative, to build something. This is the first and that's how Clayton was born. Having a Chase Ink card has allowed us to grow and bring people together. There's a creative side in all of us. That's what I hope people come here to find.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Ink Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient, so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
Discover the joy of music with a new Yamaha piano from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, where elegance meets opportunity. For a limited time, enjoy 24 months of 0% financing on qualified new Yamaha pianos. From timeless grands to cutting-edge digitals, Yamaha delivers beauty, precision, and playability. Visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland, or call 509-567-3113. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News now, First Alert Weather.
Welcome back, 525. In your entertainment headlines this morning, the trial of Sean Diddy Combs is underway. The star witness, Cassie Ventura, his former longtime partner, testifying for the prosecution yesterday.
Combs is charged with sex trafficking and racketeering.
Yeah, in an emotional testimony, Ventura saying that Combs orchestrated drug-fueled sex encounters, sometimes with male escorts, and that she feared if she refused to participate, Combs would be violent with her. Rena Roy has more from the U.S. District Courthouse in Lower Manhattan.
And a warning, some of this testimony is disturbing.
Graphic and emotional testimony in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors calling singer and Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura to the stand, where she detailed years of alleged abuse. Ventura sobbing as she described drug-fueled sex marathons with male prostitutes. She says those so-called freak-offs happened almost weekly and lasted 2, 3, sometimes 4 days. She testified that she stayed awake the whole time by drugs she says Combs gave her, including cocaine, ecstasy, and Molly. Ventura saying, quote, "I couldn't imagine doing all of that without some sort of buffer or a way to not feel it. Sex with a stranger I didn't want to be having sex with." She claims she felt pressure to participate, saying, "I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. If she refused, she said Combs would be violent with me." Ventura says many of the encounters were photographed and filmed, federal agents seizing phones and computers containing videos from the music mogul's estates. Ventura called them blackmail materials Combs held over her head. The one time she said she did try to leave, things got violent in a Los Angeles hotel. She says Combs gave her a black eye during one freak-off marathon. She tried grabbing her things and leaving, and says that's where this 2016 video obtained by CNN picks up. Jurors shown the footage once again, which shows Combs kicking and dragging Ventura. The defense argues she's trying to get money and that all of their sexual encounters were consensual. They say she's a strong, capable woman who chose to stay with Combs. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges against him. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And testimony will continue today. And staying in the courtroom, the producers of the upcoming film Together have been sued for copyright infringement.
The lawsuit claims producers Allison Brie and Dave Franco copied a 2023 film called Better Half. Both movies center around a couple that finds themselves physically fused together.
The suit alleges a casting director pitched Better Half to Brie and Franco in 2020. The couple passed on it, and the complaint alleges that was so that they could produce the film themselves.
Better Half was billed as a romantic comedy, while Together is a horror film. Still, the suit cites specific similarities, including both films ending with the couples pulling out a vinyl copy of the Spice Girls album, Spice World. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Great album.
Yes.
So I don't blame anyone for pulling that vinyl out. But that's interesting, though, that they're saying that it's so similar. There's a lot of movies that are similar, if you really break down a plot.
Yeah, and horror, I feel like the comedy twist and a horror twist on that would be like very distinct.
Right, exactly.
So we'll let the courts decide.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, some help for families in need. A new diaper pantry opening up in Benton County, and it's offering support for both babies and adults. We'll tell you who's eligible and how to sign up. And thousands of jobs cut at Microsoft, including nearly 2,000 right here in Washington. What the company has to say about the decision, that's all coming up in your next half hour. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, big cuts at Microsoft, the company slashing about 6,000 jobs, the most in more than 2 years. The focus is on reducing its manager ranks, but all levels will be affected. The layoffs are meant to cut costs as Microsoft invests heavily on artificial intelligence. Next, TikTok will now let you turn a photo into a video. The new feature is called TikTok AI Alive. Users can just pick a photo, enter a prompt, and watch it go from static to animated. The videos will be labeled as AI generated. Snapchat recently said it will soon allow users to generate videos from images as well. Finally, startup automaker Slate is looking to build small electric trucks with no frills, no stereo or power window. The Slate truck won't be available until late next year, but they've already received 100,000 orders. The base price in the mid $20,000 range. And you don't have to pay cash. Remember, you can always charge it. Those are your Tech Bites.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Is that your car?
Yeah. No. No.
Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first, before going through the car wash.
Darn it.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and save when you click or call. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Did you know your brain has 3 dimensions of memory? Working, short term, and long term. That's why we created new Nariva Memory 3D. Unlike ordinary memory supplements, Nariva's revolutionary formula has clinically tested ingredients that support 3 dimensions of memory. Take it from me. An elephant never forgets. When you need to remember, remember Nariva.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
And you, my friend, are just nailing it.
I love this.
You're spot on with your 3-degree guarantee right now.
This is my favorite part of the show every morning because I know that the people to my left are gonna
hype
me up until I get it wrong. But
oh yeah, no, then we are just going to completely destroy you.
Yes. So I'll be humbled by then, but not yet, as the 3-degree guarantee is now up to $575. So that means
exciting for you and for whoever's going to win this at some point.
Thank you so much. So I think the streak at this point is up to 23 days in a row. So anyway, yesterday I went with a forecast high of 72 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It verified right at 72. So yes, the jackpot did grow. So for today, I'm going with a forecast high once again of 72 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 69 to 75, the jackpot's going to hit $600. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleynewsnow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, now what's on your screen is pretty obvious. Today's a first alert weather day for the Kittitas Valley, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some of those peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. Already seeing peak gusts up around 40 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley for this morning, and winds out of the south and west between 20 to 30 miles per hour for the lower Columbia Basin and the Blue Foothills and up into the Blue Mountains. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations now. Just keep in mind that in those wind gusts, it's going to feel cooler than that, and we're in the 30s and 40s up in the Cascades and the Blues. Visibility is a concern for U.S. Highway 12 and Interstate 90. Also, it looks like Oregon 204 is seeing some of those impacts as well. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. We're going to have a fair mix of sun and clouds. High temperatures getting up to around 70 degrees. I think upper 60s to low 70s is a pretty safe bet. So for today, these highs are going to be about 5 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. But obviously, the big impact for today going to be the wind. So I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, including some of those peak wind gusts. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. We start your 5:30 half hour of news in Yakima this morning, where the county hosted its second strategic session to address homelessness. It all comes as a part of the county's commitment to implement and update a 5-year plan to address the issue. Commissioner Kyle Curtis says the first strategic session, held back in February, established an understanding of their current challenges, which included conversations around employment, support, and mental health services. The second session focused on utilizing local dates to determine their priorities and set community-specific objectives. 534, making a difference in Benton County, where new resources are now available for families in need. The Franciscan Health Foundation has partnered with local groups to launch the Benton County Diaper Pantry. The program offers free diapers for babies and adults, but family members must be members of the Benton Community Food Service Co-op to qualify. So membership forms are available online or in person at the co-op on East Smith Street in Oxford. Taking you to Kennewick now, where Vista Field, the Port of Kennewick's master plan for a walkable community where your grocery store, retail store, and eateries, along with healthcare, are all in arm's length away, and now they're celebrating a new groundbreaking ceremony. The co-owners at Columbia Point Eye Care say this groundbreaking ceremony marks the expansion of their current Kennewick office. The co-owner tells us the Port of Kennewick, being pro-business, made joining Vista Field a smooth process. He also says that by adding the second location, they'll be able to see and serve more patients.
We have been maxed out on patient care, and so we are excited to have, basically we'll be doubling the size of our current Kennewick office. So yeah, I mean, we're excited to be able to help more people and serve more people and provide eye care for the good people of Kennewick.
Dr. Barney there says on a normal day they see about 25 to 30 people, so they'll be able to double that number once they're all set up and open. If all goes as planned, they'll be opening their doors before the end of the year, between October and December. Tim Artson, CEO of the Port of Kennewick, says things are moving along in the master plan as they are preparing for another groundbreaking ceremony this fall around September.
And that's going to be a larger building. It's going to be a 5-story building with commercial retail on the bottom floor, and that could have things like a wine bar, coffee shop, little restaurant. And then they'll do 2 floors of upper-end apartment buildings, and then the top 2 floors would be condos that they would sell to people. So that will bring in the residential component.
Artson says that out of about 18 parcels in Phase 1, which are available for sale, they have now sold 8. 536, taking you to Oregon, where the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office is mourning the loss of canine Scotty. While off duty this last Sunday, Scotty became unresponsive, although he had no known health issues. He was born in the Czech Republic in 2018. He was a Belgian Malinois while training with the UCSO. He says Scotty stood out because of his personality and his willingness to please his handler. He had assisted with the capture of over 50 subjects during his career. They say that he will be remembered for his smiles that he brought to their faces in some of the worst times. 537 now, and back here in Washington, Microsoft is cutting thousands of jobs, nearly 2,000 of them right here at home. A state filing shows nearly 2,000 local employees will be laid off in Washington as a part of a company-wide reduction impacting a total of about 6,000 workers. That's about 3% of Microsoft's global workforce. The tech giant hasn't said if AI played a role, but the CEO recently sharing that AI is now writing up to 30% of the company's code. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, looking for a cuddle buddy with a big heart and an even bigger personality. Well, coming up, we'll meet Bruce, a 1.5-year-old pit bull who's ready to find his best friend and forever home. We're back after the break. It's 5:38.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Did you know Tri-City Lumber Company isn't just for contractors? We're your local source for decking, railing, hardware, and more, open to everyone. For over 30 years, DIYers and homeowners have trusted us for quality materials and expert one-on-one advice. Now, under new ownership, we're making it even easier to shop local and build better. Skip the big box stores. Visit Tri-City Lumber today on Clearwater and Kennewick, or call us at 509-783-3322 today.
Friday, May 16th, Polish Homes invites you out to Giesa Stadium for school night with the Dust Devils. It's also a family feast featuring hot dogs, soft drinks, and more for $2.50 each. The following night, Saturday, May 17th, we'll light up the sky above the Tri with a magnificent post-game fireworks show. For tickets, head to the official site, DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Get ready for an all-new season of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Yes! Big names, big laughs, and big wins for charity.
I'm going to take the elevator to victory.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, new tonight on ABC.
We've reached the final 2 games of our knockout round.
How lucky are we to be here?
And at the end of this hour, we will know which 3 of our masters will be headed home.
I'll bet all of it.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event, new tonight, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day, and you're looking at the reason why. We could have wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour out of the north and west for the Kittitas Valley, and in the Cascades, they're going to be lighter gusts, more on the order of like 25 to 35 miles per hour. In the Yakima Valley, these peak gusts going to be between 25 to 30 miles per hour, partly cloudy skies, highs getting into the low 70s. Then for the basin, it could be especially windy down towards Hermiston. Some of these peak gusts up around 40 miles per hour. And again, a fair mixture of sun and clouds, highs in the low to mid 70s. And then for the Blue Foothills, mostly in the 60s, 50s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Also, we could see peak gusts around 55 miles per hour, mainly in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So places like Lexington and Heppner, it's going to be a hold on to your hats kind of day. Okay, now let's talk about the big picture, the seasonal rainfall deficits and surpluses we've been tracking since October 1st. So here are the rainfall totals you would typically expect for this time of the year. Here's what we've actually seen. If you do a little bit of math, you can deduce a percentage point in terms of a surplus or deficit. So really good surpluses for the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin. However, the surplus is starting to leak oil now in the Blue Foothills of Umatilla County and the Kittitas Valley. And of course, we're still unfortunately running that seasonal rainfall deficit in the Blue Foothills of Walla Walla County. But hey, here's the good news. We have more rainfall on the way. Bad news is that maybe there could be some thunderstorms embedded within that. So I'll talk about that. And of course, I have to touch on the wind gusts once again. So that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Hey, it's that time of week once again for Operation Best Friend. And if you're looking for a furry friend who's equal parts playful and snuggly, well, look no further than Bruce.
Bruce. Well, this 1.5-year-old pit bull is full of personality. He loves a good nap, never turns down a cuddle, and is ready to bring some joy to a forever home.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's meet Bruce.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Hi, my name is Hannah and I'm from the Benton Franklin Humane Society, and today with me I have brought Bruce. Bruce is a 1.5-year-old pit bull and he has been with us at the shelter for about 20 days. Bruce was transferred through our Happily Ever After transfer program and he has been doing so well here at the shelter. Bruce has even made a couple of friends. He loves to participate in playgroup, and if you stop by the shelter you can probably see him taking a nap in his kennel. He loves to take a nap and he just looks so peaceful while he's doing it. Bruce does well on the leash. He's very polite on the leash and he's working on his manners. He's working on sit and he's working on some additional manners that I think would be really great for him to learn. Bruce would do well in a home that loves to go on walks and who loves to take naps. I'm sure he would love to cuddle up with you guys during nap time. Bruce has quickly become a staff favorite with his big head and his big personality to go along with him. And he would probably love to go home with another dog and hang out and do nap time together. Bruce here is all dressed up for our Wags and Whiskers event that will be taking place at the end of the month. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and purchase those tickets on our website, and all the proceeds will go directly towards the funding of our animals. If you're interested in meeting Bruce, you could go ahead and stop by the shelter. We are open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 through 4.
Oh, Bruce dressed to the nines there with his little tux.
Definitely, he looked very sharp. Yeah, handsome boy. And they said, got a big head, got a big heart though too.
Yeah, I love that. He could be yours. Okay, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And of course, we will be checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth with your full first alert forecast as we give you that live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Skycam at Richlands Columbia Point. Josh will let us know what we can expect not only today, but for the rest of the weekend, into the weekend. It's 5:45 and we're back after the break.
Local Ford dealer.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
At the Pacific Clinic, we understand the juggle of parenthood. That's why the PC is your one-stop shop for all your health, sports, and medical needs. Schedule your appointments around your favorite group fitness classes and use our on-site childcare services.
From women's health to care for your little ones, we practice a comprehensive approach to keep your family feeling great.
With our quick and convenient scheduling, we'll get you in within the same week, often the next day. Call us today at 509-783-5465.
Looking for the perfect spot to relax? Welcome to Hoops, your new favorite restaurant and bar, where the vibe is clean, the food is delicious, and the staff always friendly. Whether you're in for a night of trivia, a round of pool, darts, dancing, pull tabs, or karaoke, Hoops has it all. Great food, great people, Hoops, where every night is a great experience. Hoops Bar. Stop by today for your next great night out.
Hi there, I'm Stacy Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday between 11 and 2 and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
Stacy Lee, Cap View First Alert Weather. Watch tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. But take a look at some of the peak wind gusts we could have in the lower Columbia Basin, peaking around 40 miles per hour. The Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County, 55 miles per hour. The Bluefoot Hills of Umatilla and Walla Walla counties up around 45 miles per hour. So it's going to be pretty widespread breezes and gusts for today. Other than that, it'll be of course you have to look past that, but it'll be a decent day, a mixture of sun and clouds for lower elevations. We'll have about a 20 to 30% chance of some showers up in the mountains, and high temperature is going to be about 5 degrees cooler than normal for the middle of May, which means 60s and 70s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s up in the Blues. Then for tonight, still mostly clear for lower elevations, could hold on to like a 10 to 20% chance of a shower in the Cascades. Other than that, should be dry. Overnight lows down in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 20s and 30s up in the mountains. Okay, for tomorrow, another mostly dry day, but around 4 p.m. we'll get that next wave of showers up in the Cascades. See 4 p.m. for tomorrow. Then after that, trying to spread down into lower elevations. Some models are suggesting that this moisture is going to have a tough time making it to the east of the Cascades, but you can see this This iteration of Futurecast is being bullish on some of these shower chances for the valleys and basin, but overall we're not expecting much in the way of accumulating rainfall. Should be pretty dry again once we head into Friday. But for this weekend, showers and thunderstorms becoming likely across the map for Saturday. We'll have some of that left over for Sunday, trending drier for the beginning of next week. High temperatures holding pretty steady, about 5-ish degrees cooler than normal through Sunday, and then a smidge warmer, more seasonal for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry through Friday, but showers and thunderstorms now looking likely for Saturday. In Yakima, showers certainly possible for Saturday. Then some of those strong northwesterly gusts could spill into the valley, into the Yakima Valley from the Kittitas Valley by Sunday. Speaking of the Kittitas Valley, in Ellensburg, the potential for damaging wind gusts again for today, then turning very windy again Sunday through Tuesday. In Hermiston, very windy today as well, then calmer winds after that, but showers and storms looking likely for Saturday. Then in Walla Walla, a few showers possible on Friday, but the main event will be on Saturday with showers and thunderstorms likely.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:51, time for your morning sprint. The top 5 local things you need to know this morning. In Grant County, a stolen vehicle tied to an Amber Alert out of Oregon triggered a high-speed chase early Monday. State troopers located the blue Mazda CX-5 near George around 2 a.m. After a pit maneuver, they arrested a 29-year-old man and a 26-year-old woman. 2 young children were found in that vehicle. They were found safe and placed into protective custody. And a controlled burn got out of hand Monday near Benton City. Strong winds causing those flames to spread prompted a quick response from Benton County Fire Districts 2 and 4. Crews contained that blaze to under an acre within about 30 minutes. Also in Benton County, a new diaper pantry is now open thanks to a partnership between Franciscan Health, local nonprofits, and the Benton Community Food Co-op. Now, the program provides free diapers to families in need. To be eligible, families must be members, and membership information is available online and at the Oxford location. And in Yakima County, a Toppenish man has pleaded guilty to federal charges after shooting at law enforcement. 26-year-old Leland James Viharo admitted to assault and firearm violations in U.S. District Court. Authorities say he fired 5 shots during a February 2024 standoff with bullets hitting a sheriff's vehicle. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Sentencing for him is set for August 11th. And Microsoft has announced nearly 2,000 layoffs in Washington state as a part of a broader company-wide reduction. Tech giant is trimming 3% of its workforce. Microsoft has not said whether the rise of artificial intelligence played a role in this, but it was recently revealed that 30% of the company's code is now written by AI. 5:53 in your national headlines this morning. President Trump announcing that he plans to lift sanctions on Syria following last year's fall of the Assad regime, saying the move will, quote, give them a chance at greatness. The removal of the sanctions is a significant win for the Syrian government, but likely to be seen as a blow by the Israeli government. President Trump saying in remarks to Saudi Investment Forum that he made the decision after discussing it with the Saudi Crown Prince and the President of Turkey. And in your business headlines this morning, with the de-escalation of tariffs on China, you may be wondering, will Temu and Shein be cheap again? Well, the answer is yes and no. The reason those retailers were so cheap to start with was because they imported goods under the de minimis loophole. That allowed packages worth less than $800 from China to enter the U.S. duty-free. Well, that loophole was destroyed with the new tariffs and subject to the same 145% as everything else. So now it's been lowered to 30%. So yes, that is a lot lower than the 145% tariff. It is still significantly higher than it was before all of this started. 5:54 in your health headlines this morning. A new study suggests working long hours could be altering the structure of your brain. 2 scientists in South Korea followed 110 healthcare workers classified as overworked and non-overworked. They used a neuroimaging technique to analyze brain volume. So the overworked group, clocking in 52 hours or more each week, had significant changes in brain regions associated with executive function and emotional regulation compared to the non-overworked group. Well, researchers believe that these findings suggest a biological basis for the cognitive and emotional challenges reported by people who are overworked. In your sports headlines this morning at 5:55, the Portland Trail Blazers NBA franchise is up for sale. In a social media post, the estate for Paul Allen said it started a formal sales process, which they say was part of the Microsoft co-founder's wishes of selling his sports holdings and donating the proceeds to philanthropic efforts. Allen's estate said the news about the Trail Blazers sale doesn't affect its other sports holdings, like the Seattle Seahawks or its stake in the Seattle Sounders MLS team. And in their continued battle with the New York Yankees, Seattle Mariners were able to edge out a win. This following a dramatic loss to the team on Monday. Seattle beat out the Yankees 2-1. Their final matchup will be tonight. All right, trending this morning as the clock turns to 5:56, a lot has changed in 30 years. In 1994, it was Jessica and Michael. In 2024, it was Olivia and Liam.
And I definitely know who Jessica and Michael are. Anyway, and if you've met a baby lately, chances are you've already met a Liam or an Olivia. See, I thought it was like, oh, you're too young to know who Sam and Diane are. I thought it was one of those situations.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Nope. It's
but
not.
It's baby names.
It's baby names, yeah. They were the most popular baby names of 2024.
That's right, and not just this year. Both names have actually held the top spot since 2019. Wow, and it looks like they're not going anywhere.
Noah and Emma are still holding strong near the top as well, but there was a little shakeup for the girls' names. Sophia bumped Luna out of the top 10 spot.
Geez, well, that's a big upset right there. And some unique names made big jumps, like Truce, Halo, and Elaney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
I haven't met a Halo yet. I haven't met a Truce. I haven't met a Laney.
Or whatever that's supposed to be. Naming your baby is probably one of the hardest and most stressful things to do.
Even
prior
naming,
to having the child, of
even
course.
naming my cat and my dog, like that was high stress. So something with like a developed prefrontal cortex. That's
well, you know, there's always name association.
Yes.
So if someone says, "Oh, what about this name?" You're like, "Oh, no, I know a person. I can't do that." Or, well, what if the name doesn't match? Or that name's cute now as a baby.
What about?
But not when they're the president.
Yeah. Are you going to be a grandpa in your name? You're going to be Grandpa Jake or something? No offense to any Jake. Hey, listen, there's a really. No one
Sorry,
says
Grandpa
like.
Jake.
No one says, I know a lot of good Joshes. There are a lot of good Josh. That is a name with a bad reputation. So.
Oh, it is?
It is, yes.
I'm trying to think. I think you're in the clear with me.
Okay, good. Ooh, that was a close one.
All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, evacuation orders, flames, and a quick response. What sparked a Monday night fire at an apartment building in Ellensburg. Plus, changing diapers in public just got easier for Washington parents. A new law aiming to make changing tables more accessible, especially for dads. And Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth sitting next to me. What are you tracking
Well,
for today?
in the next hour, I'm not going to offend any more Jakes or Truces. And also, I'm going to show you why it's a first alert weather day specifically for the Kittitas Valley. So that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.